Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with a rather somber Ian. Things have gone on, and today we're going to talk about those things. We're going to have quite a serious discussion about it, actually, and I'm looking forward to having Ian's point on it because it needs to be said. But we'll get all of the stupid stuff out the way first. Of course, this is the Mullet Football Comedy Show on Full Time Sports Network.
Never give up on us. Now we're on the road to Europe. Right now, all our dreams can be made, and we'll be kings of football again. England! England!
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for another show. It's going to be a good show. I've got my new cardigan on. It's a bit chilly in here. How you doing, Ian? You look a bit cold. You got your scarf on, mate. You all right?
Yeah, I put my scarf on, kind of stay warm, keep the colours of the club close to my skin, some
Love
kind of
that.
solace and comfort to myself.
No, we'll leave the solace and comfort for later. There's already some
Yeah.
comments in already. Sports Capital, Munty, big up lads. Cheers, mate. Global mapping surveys. Well,
Yes,
we're just about to
our
talk.
sponsors.
Do you know about global mapping surveys, Ian? Have you heard about them?
Yes, they are a surveying company up and down the whole of the UK, run by Adam. One day's in Glasgow, next day is down on the south coast. They use topographical surveys, which really studies the undulation of the land.
Bloody undulation, good word.
Too big, no job too small. Global mapping surveys will survey and do drawings of.
What you should have done is say
If you like
survey
it.
you all, and then it would have rhymed.
Yes.
That would have been good. So big up to Adam and Global Mapping Surveys, the sponsor of the show. Without Adam, we wouldn't be able to do this today. Also, our other sponsor. Sorry, I seem to have lost the
We can talk
the
about
pictures.
Rafe Energy Drink.
I think Rafe's is still up there. Here we go. We've got a new one from Rafe.
An official
Rafe
partner,
himself.
a healthy option. You dilute it in water. There's a QR code there for you to scan so you can get your 10% off, or you can use the FTSN 22 code. And yeah, it's the energy without the calories to give you that kind of pickup to bounce through the day.
I do like this new artwork. You see that this kind of that gothic hand holding the pot there. Maybe Adam, we could get another global mapping surveys, bit more with a bit more of a twist to it. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Although we do love the global mapping surveys. And thank you to Rafe Energy Drinks as well. So there's been so many comments already coming in already. Silver one, love you, my favourite evening gentleman. And we've got a good show. Yes, Mullet, surely they won't be digging into the dirt if City financials. Yes, we will. We will,
Yes,
but we will be doing it from a slightly not so serious side. Great one, Ollie. Need a new haircut. I am actually growing the mullet back, so happy days. Pepsi for long or shorter time now. It's all coming in at the moment. Ian, it's all coming in, mate. It's all coming in. So we are gonna talk about that. But we're gonna get through the fun stuff first. I'm not seeing a logo anywhere. No, you're right. I had the logo up.
The Rafe logo's up there.
There we go. The Rafe's there. Well, there we go. GMS up there. Sorry about it, Adam. Glad you're watching. He is surveying our show for us. Okay. So first of all, we're going to go to the bit we love in the show. There's Bovrils Bits. Got a little short Bovrils Bits today. Obviously, there's quite this. I think this one you sent to me, Ian. We can still laugh at Liverpool for that. Actually, says ideal for the middle of the table.
There is the other joke that if after all this financial fair play go through, that if City get docked 20 points, they'll probably still finish above Liverpool.
Wow, there we go. There we go. So there's that one. I mean, it's true. There's another one about Liverpool. For those who missed Wolves, Liverpool, here are the highlights. That is a wolf eating. I don't even know what it is on a Liverpool badge. What is the animal?
It's a liver bird.
That's a wolf eating a liver bird. There we go. I've got some more comments in here. We always read your comments, guys.
The liver bird is the statue on the top of the liver building on the.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I've never seen a real one. Arsenal's bubble was burst. Don't worry, Munsey. We're going to come to that. Shut up, Munsey. This is what we like. Muns, if you thought about bubble bursting, we're celebrating the title. Yeah, we'll be popping champagne soon enough. There we go, Munsey. Getting the fruits running at the start of the show. Love that. What's this next one that we've got? See, to show that I can actually have a laugh at Arsenal as well. When you do the hokey cokey after beating a team top of the league and our manager after your first game in charge, that is Sean Dyche doing the hokey cokey. But I did say on the last show, I did say it was going to be a tough game, did I not?
You did.
I did. So I was 100% right on that. More Bruce Banana.
If as a neutral you want a really entertaining game this weekend, Liverpool-Everton, that's got to be a really entertaining game.
We will go on to that. We've got so much stuff to get through today, though, mate. So we're gonna plough through it. What else? This was quite a good one. I quite like this. Is it going to come on? Chelsea players arrived for training this morning.
Yeah.
In terms of how many they've sold. This one, you could explain this to me. I can't remember if we talked about this one last week, but this was sent on a WhatsApp, and I found it quite funny. It's this. Apparently, it's a quote from a big ex-Spurs player. He says, "It's better to fail aiming high than to succeed aiming low, as we of Spurs have set our sights very high. So high, in fact, that failure will have in it an echo of glory." I just think that's absolutely hilarious. Do you?
Smells of BS to me.
To be fair, the guy did write it when he was winning things. So, fair play to him. He didn't know it was going to be this long. But I did find that quote quite funny. Ian, does Pep bolt if they impose another transfer ban of points? Don't worry, guys. We're going to get to that bit. We are going to get to that.
Probably is my answer.
Ian, everyone is waiting. Everyone is waiting for your take on this. It's a Mullet show exclusive, and I love it. Munsey is Bruce Banana because Arsenal are top. There we go. I sent that, Ollie. Yes, you did, Tony.
And there's some Bruce Bananas coming up.
Plenty of Bruce. So, Tony, you sent that and I liked it that much. It got on the show. There we go. What we did last week, or what we do every week now, is a new bit on the show, is that we type a random club into Twitter and we take out the best tweets for that club. Now, this week, it was Hereford, okay? I'll be honest, there weren't as many good tweets from Hereford as there was some of the other teams. But I did delve through and I did find some good ones. So, are you ready for a bit of Hereford? Here we go. This is the first one. I quite like this one. This was posted by Stephen Niblet, Blue Heart. And this obviously is a Hereford player celebrating in front of the goalkeeper. Very unsportsmanlike conduct there, but still quite funny. What do you think of that one, Ian?
I wonder if there's a typo there. Instead of Simo, it should be Sumo, judging by the size of him.
Simo, that's it. But he'd obviously just scored. So There we go. This is the Panorama League.
It looks as though he's about 50, doesn't he?
Well, most people are in the Panorama League. What's this next one? So basically, when reading through the tweets, there was a lot of stuff about Hereford's manager being sacked. In fact, 90% of the tweets were all about Hereford's manager being sacked. And this was the statement from Hereford themselves, can confirm the first team manager, Josh Growling, has today left the club by mutual consent. And Terry Tinfoil, a very good tweet. I like this one. Just won my third Champions League with Hereford on Football Manager. Just going to throw that out there. I say, give it to Terry Tinfoil. What do you say, Ian?
Absolutely.
With a name like that, and
Terry Tinfoil.
If you can win the Champions League with Hereford,
or maybe Leeds will appoint him
on Football Manager. Well, that's it. I think we've got to start putting his name out there for all the big prizes, because Terry Tinfoil hat is in there. We'll be keeping an eye on you, Terry Tinfoil. Don't you worry. This next one was quite funny. So this was a goal, and this was just a whole kind of range of tweets. The first one said, Billy would have enjoyed that if he was awake. And then GC said, is he alive? So what happened to Billy? Was he in an accident? Reese wrote back and said, not a clue, but he is smashed. And then that was the last I heard from him anyway. So poor old Billy, if he's alive or not, missed the only Hereford goal. What do you think's happened to Billy, Ian? Do you think we can find him?
All I'd say is, Billy, don't be a hero.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tweet them, and we'll find out what happened to Billy and why he couldn't make it to the Hereford game, because he's always there. He's always there. Next one's just another picture, just like this one. There we go. Hereford fan by the Taj Mahal.
Hang on, wasn't that the player we just had a picture of a couple of minutes ago? It's the same guy, isn't it?
At the Taj Mahal.
It's the same player who was on the pitch. Maybe that was a fan on the pitch going to celebrate next to the goalkeeper. And the guy I said who looks about 50, I reckon that's him.
Well, I would say that is probably one of the most disgusting football kits I've ever seen in my entire life. Who's
Sun Valley? Do they make margarine or something?
I think they make pasties or something. I don't know. Let's find out. Sun Valley. They definitely some kind of,
maybe make sausages or something, or
beef steak. It's killing me. Nuts. They make nuts. It says nuts. Here. Okay. Nuts.
Oh yeah, I think
if that is the no. That's not the Sun Valley on the shirt. Anyway, we'll get into that. But it's good to see Hereford got as far as the Taj Mahal. What's going on with that kit though? Look at that sleeve. Who decided to design that sleeve there?
I think it's called a raglan sleeve. That when you put it's a little bit like the baseball sleeve, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but look at the design on it. I can't believe
looks like a polo shirt over another shirt. Anyone
would think you were a designer retail manager, Ian.
Well, it's funny you should say that.
Silver One says, thank you, I love you too, Tone. I love you. I would never bag you. That was yours. Laugh out loud. Tony, wow, Grimsby, the fish people up. 3-1 on Luton Town. We like Luton. Maybe we should do Luton next week. I'll tell you what.
FA Cup replay.
I'll tell you what, Moss, you can pick which club we do next week. Obviously, we're doing Hereford at the moment. On to the next Hereford tweet. You like this one? Because this one's
Wrexham, won't it? Find out what they're saying about their...
We'll go Wrexham then. You like this next one? Because it's got cats in it. I don't know where this went. It says, good to see you blending in. This was to someone on Countdown with the background, Colin. Colin was on Countdown. They were very happy that Colin was on Countdown. My cats, Bertie and Daisy, love watching the show whilst eating their breakfast. This is Bertie. He supports Pompey.
Yeah, he looks pissed off. Yes.
And then
cat, that is not a happy cat, is it?
No, he's not. He's not. And then the next guy, who was a Hereford fan, obviously got a bit excited, and he said Daisy supports Hereford FC because being white and black, and obviously that explains the cat and the shirt behind the Taj Mahal. So just a little bit on cats there.
Funny looking cat.
Yeah, not the best looking cats I've seen, but we do love cats.
Yeah.
This one's quite funny. Edgar Street, Hereford Floodlight Friday. Wow. What do you think about those floodlights?
The grounds still have those.
But look, what makes you laugh? There's 9 lights on there.
I remember going to watch City and Main Road as a kid, and certainly, more than 30 years ago. And we definitely had floodlights at Main Road. I can remember the floodlights at Main Road. And they eventually came down and they had them around the edge of these stands, etc. But I can definitely remember the floodlight pylons at Main Road. Well,
these ones struck me as there was only about 9 lights on there. And surely they could put a few more on there. But hey, this is the Vanarama League. So there's our bit.
But they were in the Football League fairly recently, weren't they?
I wouldn't know. I don't go any further than the Premier League.
Yeah, we were in the Football League for quite a while.
Also, if there's any Hereford fans out there, if you want to, like I say, the tweets were a bit sparse for Hereford, so we will do Wrexham next week. We'll pull out some good tweets for Wrexham. Got a few more comments. Grimsby up 3-0. Fish people, get one YouTube explain the City charges against me. The Mullet Show on the YouTube. Big ups. Okay. They're calling. Do you want to go with your segment next, Ian, or do you want to go straight to the Man City?
Let's get the funnies out of the
funny
way.
Stuff done. We'll do funny stuff.
I think to introduce this section a little bit, Ollie, the world knows that you are a cinematographer, yeah? You work in the cinema.
I mean, it doesn't mean I'm a cinematographer, but I mean, yeah, you could say that.
Yeah. And what does Tom do?
Tom's a recruitment consultant, I believe.
Oh, Tom's a recruitment consultant. Do you know what I do for a living?
Yeah, you're a retail fashion guru.
Yeah. I'm a retailer. I've worked for a whole variety of different retailers. And did you know I used to work? I did a year working in the States for Victoria's Secret.
I think you've told me that before.
Yeah,
and
So I always find it fascinating when I go through the websites of the club shops around the country. And I'm going to start doing this on a fairly regular basis. And I just dipped in some absolutely random clubs to see what random articles were for sale on a whole different variety of websites. So I've sent the pictures across to Ollie. So throw them up on the screen, Ollie, and I'll explain why all these different items for sale on websites tickle me. It was after we looked last week at Millwall, and Millwall had to be the worst shop in the world. They had one accessory, and it was a tape measure. You Google accessories in the drop-down menu on their website, and the only accessory they have is a tape measure.
I don't know. It does look like a pretty good tape measure.
A Millwall tape measure.
Do you think £9 for a tape measure as well is quite steep?
I wonder whether global mapping surveys will be using that.
I tell you what.
Yeah, I think Adam should go on the website, buy one of those.
We're going to buy one for global mapping surveys for Adam.
Do some topography with that, couldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, if you're an architect, surely a tape measure is definitely one of your
must-have device.
Yeah, but they've got those really good ones now with like the lasers on it,
yeah.
And they just
I reckon Adam's definitely got one of those. I think he's given up on tape measures. Right, keep going. We've got lots of pictures.
I like this one. There's some teddies. Right. Woo!
I don't know why I went to Sunderland to have a look at Sunderland. You think they're big, tough guys up in the northeast, Tyneside, Teesside. Sorry, deepest apologies to Sunderland fans there. But look at the cuddly toys on the Sunderland website. Dinosaurs, bears, goodness knows what. Robbie the robot, Snuggles bear. I just think they're lovely. Don't you think they're lovely?
Was it Diplodocus? Is that how it's said?
I think that was a genuine dinosaur. I'm not talking, I think
they've got their facts straight. They were like, look, listen, we're going to do a dinosaur.
I found a similar cuddly dinosaur on the Arsenal site. It was a Penosaurus.
Oh, very, very close. Yeah, I'll take that. But you're going to get some shots thrown at you soon, Ian. So you might want to have some friends here. Let's go through some more cuddly toys. Your second team, Crystal Palace. Yep,
obviously Eagles. And again, I like the cuddly toys there on sale. Unfortunately, the Eagle died last season. For the 5 or 6 years I've been going to watch Palace.
Some would say the Eagle had fallen.
Yes. But they used to fly an eagle between the goalposts before the game. A really live eagle from one end to the other end. So that's the symbol. Did you know also, Ollie, that they're the only only club in the Football League that I know that have cheerleaders called the Crystals?
Yeah, I mean, the cheerleaders are pretty hot. So does that mean both of these Eagles are female? Because it's Alice and Kayla.
Looks like it.
Yeah, didn't want to go with a female Eagle because, just stick with the females. More teddies here. You did go big on the old teddies.
Yeah,
this is Sunderland teddy.
Well, yeah, Sunderland are obsessed with teddy bears. As a club, bearing in mind the only accessory that Millwall sell is a tape measure. Under accessories, that all these teddy bears at Sunderland, I couldn't get over it. There's unicorns, beanie bears, first bear.
I've got to be honest, I do kind of want the rainbow unicorn. That's pretty cool. Do you not want one? No.
And I like that Diplodocus. I think I'd have a Diplodocus from the previous.
Diplodocus for you, rainbow unicorn for me.
Oh,
My
good.
wife's got an obsession with teddy pickers, right? So she's found a website, right, where you can do it online. So you're looking at I joke you not, right? You're looking at the machine somewhere in Asia. Don't know where it is, but it's definitely in Asia. And you're controlling it by your phone. So you've got it on the screen. And yeah, she wins bloody prizes. They get posted over here from Asia. Honestly, next week on the show, I'm going to show you a picture of all of the cuddly toys we have on our bed, because my wife is obsessed with the teddy picker. And I'm not joking. She even does the thing, because with teddy pickers, right, the claw gets stronger at certain points.
Yeah.
So I said to her, you got to wait. You got to wait until the perfect time.
Hold.
She worked it out, didn't she? She worked it out, and now I've got about 1 million cuddly toys in the bed. So I definitely don't need any more cuddly toys. But maybe I could buy her an Arsenal cuddly toy. You didn't get an Arsenal cuddly toy there, did you?
No.
So what's the story with this?
Right. Okay. I knew that Crystal Palace would be big on alcohol, not for any other reason than Crystal Palace have many celebrity supporters, but one of them is my brain's gone. The guy from Men Behaving Badly, not Martin Clunes.
I'm never going to get this.
Yeah, okay, I'll come back to him in a bit. But anyway, he makes the Palace Ale. So they serve Palace Ale in all the bars, but also on the website you can get Palace wine, Palace vodka, Palace red wine, white wine, rosé. I just think that's
Ian,
Morris.
Ian, can I tell you now though, right? I know you're a classy guy, right? If someone turned up at your house for a dinner party, I bet you love a dinner party, don't you, Ian? I bet you love a dinner party. I'd love to go to a dinner party with you.
Maybe,
so
yes.
Someone turned up at your house with a branded bottle of Crystal Palace wine. I mean, this one here, the rosé, that doesn't even look like rosé. That looks orange to me.
Yeah. But the bottom two are vodkas.
Would you be impressed?
The vodka might be all right.
You go with the vodka.
Good, but I wouldn't go with the wine.
No, that's it. I like the honesty. I'm going to get you a bottle, by the way. Paul says, aren't they Black Cat Sunderland? I think they are, but there was plenty of teddies. Damn, Arsenal 21.
Black Cats cuddly toys.
Oh, it's bloody stupid, isn't it? They're missing out on their market there. Oh, Ian, you need to have a word with them being a retailer. Damn, Arsenal under 21s are losing 7-2 to PSV at home. There we go, Munsey. Maybe Arsenal are starting to slide. Very fetish, did I hear? Only for my wife, mate. Only for my wife. Neil Morrissey.
That's him, Neil Morrissey. He makes Palace Ale. I should have remembered that. Sometimes it's
so this ale up here in the top left is Neil Morrissey's. All right, well, we'll definitely get some of that and drink it on the show, and then we'll see how it goes down. Next one, as you've got a few Arsenal ones on here.
Oh yes, I just thought you could wear this for the show, Ollie. The Arsenal fleece all-in-one red PJ. Hey, that's good.
It's got 33 reviews and all of them are 5 stars, so I would say that's a good buy. I don't know if I'd look very good in it, but hey, we'll see. It's probably retails at about £700, knowing Arsenal. Another Arsenal one. What do you like about these ones?
I mean, how ugly are those? I mean, they're basically furry mules with slingback slippers.
This one's only got.
Who on earth came up with that to market those and think they would sell?
This one's only got 3 reviews and it's rated at 4.5. So still not a bad score on the review front. But I mean, to be fair, you're not going to wear those outside the house, are you?
Well, they're slippers, but
Yeah, well, I think inside the house, fair enough. Outside the house, maybe not so much.
It's not what you expect to find on a club website, though, is it?
No, I mean, you found some crackers.
What souvenirs from the game? Sporting goods.
Wow. Back to Sunderland. There we go.
Yeah.
Is that a sports bra there?
Sunderland had a particularly good shop compared with Millwall. They're the same division as Millwall. And look at this. Look at these. I mean, how good are they?
I like the way that the bras even
If
called
your wife were
oddballs.
wearing that top set there, Ollie, and they were Arsenal, you'd be pretty happy, wouldn't you?
I mean, I think I'm going to buy one, become a Sunderland fan.
Nice.
Why not? I like the way the bras still called oddballs as well as the shorts, because the shorts kind of make sense.
Yeah.
Whereas the bras, maybe you might want to change the wording from oddballs. So that's it from that section. Any more to say on some of the fantastic finds? You're going to go out and you're going to research some more for next week.
Next week we'll have more to explore. Like you pick a club on Twitter, I'm going to pick random clubs and explore what is their specialists in. So Sunderland are famous for cuddly toys and underwear. Arsenal for not very classy PJs and slingbacks. I think they're you squash banana range or what it's called is quite interesting online. But anyway, I'll explore it more next week. As I'm the resident shop.
I think you did have Bruce Bernard, but I missed it. This just shows getting more and more harder to plan for. It takes me at least an hour to get everything in line, and sometimes I miss some things. Damn, Ryan Reynolds down 1-0 to Sheffield United. That must be over for them now, surely. A onesie for Ollie, definitely. I mean, I think I'm going to have to get it, just depending on how expensive it is. Onesie or onsie. And Tony's a great segment, guys. It's good to know we're doing well. I do love that. I
reckon Foxy's gone straight out there to buy those PJs.
Mate, we're going to have to do, what's the football team that Tony really likes? Weymouth. We're going to have to do Weymouth. I'll tell you what, for Tony next week, we'll do Weymouth tweets and we'll do Weymouth club shops best bits. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a few pictures here to start the next segment, which is what everyone's looking forward to, Ian. They are funny. What do you think of punishment? It's fair punishment for City if they're found guilty. Make them play Spurs away every week. That's just quite good. I thought that was good. We can laugh at that one, no? No. So, and what is the thought of this picture here?
Yeah.
I mean, just look at that picture. It's just absolutely priceless. He doesn't even look like he should have that in his hands. Also, lawyer in charge of Independent Commission on Man City is actually an Arsenal fan.
I heard that too.
Of course. And then one more serious one. If you lie to me the day after I'm not here, I will be out and I will not be your friend anymore. I put my faith in you because I believe you're 100% from day one and defend the club because of that. That's my really bad Pep Guardiola impression. Right. So I'm going to ping the questions at you. All right. And then you tell me what you think. All right. First of all, so let's say you get found guilty. In your opinion, what should be the punishment for the crime? If you're found guilty.
Okay. What I find quite upsetting is that, there's times when there is turmoil in football. Is the baying mob of other football clubs, particularly the bigger clubs, to want to see City pay the maximum penalty, expulsion from the Premier League, titles back, all that sort of thing. And, if that was the case, the club would, I think, probably get liquidated because if they're outside the Premier League, all the football, TV money goes away, all the sponsorship goes away. And I'm not sure that the Abu Dhabi owners wouldn't either sell it or, all Guardiola would leave, the stars would leave, and the Premier League could expel them for 5 years. And if that's what all those fans of all those other clubs deeply want, and the only people who would actually suffer at the end of the day are fellow fans like them, then perhaps they should take a little bit of a look in the mirror. What I want to do is I just want to start at the very, very beginning of all this, all right, where City have found themselves. And that is, when we had a World Cup show a little earlier, and I did a little bit of history on FIFA, and FIFA being a corrupt organisation all the way through from the late 1800s, and England wouldn't even participate till the 50s because there was all that paraphernalia. So you've got football has been almost infamous for almost money laundering, backhanders, corruption, all the way from almost the conception of the professional game. Right, I want to put it into context. I was certainly around there in the 80s, 90s in football. In the eras of Brian Clough's and even into the Harry Redknapp era and the Sam Allardyce era. So only in a very recent past has there clearly been dodgy money, corruption like we've never seen across many, many, many different clubs. Yeah, football has been riddled with this. You then add into it agents who we know, whether it's in boxing, whether it's in football, there are incredibly questionable deals that will go to be able to get the best players, etc., across all football. Yeah, and I think what's then happened is that, particularly from the beginning of the Chelsea era, is that an incredibly rich guy from Russia who has made his oligarch money from very questionable sources has then plowed his money into what might look like a legitimate organization in Chelsea. And clearly, in many cases, you'd almost describe that as money laundering. And at many, many clubs, there are people who... Hang on.
Can I ask a question on that, though?
I'm just setting the scene here.
Yeah, no, obviously you know more about it than I do. So this is
really
really interesting.
I'm just generally speculating.
But so in what Chelsea did, and when they did it, if they were doing it, how did they get away with it?
Okay, I'll come to that in a moment.
Okay.
Let me explain. Because, to an extent, Chelsea's a private company, and private companies only have to produce very limited accounts. Yeah.
Okay. So why did Man City not do that?
Okay. Let me finish this all the way through. So there's all sorts of different investors in clubs, and if you want to look at the dodgiest investor that Man City had, and the time that they probably should have been dragged across the coals for dodgy illegal stuff, was when Thaksin Shinawatra took them in about 2000. He was the guy who ended up in jail on the other side of the world. And there's been a variety of owners like that in Birmingham and different places who've clearly been inappropriate owners of football clubs. Now, so under this cloud of almost lawlessness in football in terms of money changing hands and different sorts of financial accounting, you've also got a Premier League at this moment in time that is awash with international money, as we're seeing, whether it's in Chelsea or Newcastle or City. And to an extent, particularly the last few months with Chelsea, it's almost out of control from the Premier League point of view. Okay. What happened about 12 years ago? 12 years ago, a Canadian guy who's now in court on trial hacked into Man City. And he got away with many, many thousands upon thousands of emails and communications. Now, whether he tried to
when was that?
12 years ago. Yeah.
He hacked into...
Yeah, I think...
I didn't even know this happened.
7 or 8 years ago, yeah. And all those documents ended up at a German newspaper called Das Spiegel. Yeah. And they're the ones that question, Yaya Touré's agents and whether the city's revenue was this or that and the other. Bear with me, you asked me the question. Okay.
No.
So that alerted there was inside information, and that was an illegal hack into City. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I think that my club are going to be found to be Puritans of financial virtue, because I'm sure to get certain players over the line in the last 20 years to balance revenues, maybe some questionable accounting went on. Questionable accounting goes on in many organizations around the world. Questionable accounting goes on in Amazon and Apple to ensure that they don't pay tax in this country. Questionable accounting and creative accounting goes across everywhere. It's only when somebody gets into that system to be able to produce some kind of tangible evidence that they will put that in place. So the first point I'm making is I don't believe that City are the only club who may have made questionable financial creative decisions. Okay. I think they're the first club that there's been some tangible evidence on because of that illegal tap. And that's how it ended up in Das Spiegel. Bear with me, you asked me the question on this, Ollie. Let me finish and you can fire some questions at me. I think the timing of this investigation is really, really interesting. How does it, after 4 years of investigation, miraculously appear about a week, I think, or 10 days before the government releases its white paper on putting in an ombudsman to govern football and look into all the ownership and the finance, etc. The last thing the Premier League want is government officials crawling all over the Premier League, questioning all the activities. They want complete control, and that's the first question. It also coincides with a time where clearly Chelsea have made a complete monkeys of the Premier League. You meant to have financial fair play, and they haven't just, slightly done it. They've been crass beyond belief. How that can be. So clearly the Premier League were faced with a challenge. Number one, from the government, that the government want to get under the skin of all the Premier League activities to be able to govern it. And number two, they've got a situation in the Premier League at this moment in time which is completely out of control. Whether it's the spending at Chelsea, or can you imagine the spending of Man United if they get taken over by many billionaires, or Liverpool? You've got other Middle Eastern conglomerates in Qatar, etc., hovering over to do exactly what the Saudis have done at Newcastle and the Abu Dhabi guys have done at Man City. So the Premier League know, if we think Chelsea's out of control, if we look 12 months further down the road with takeovers at Liverpool, Man United, etc., a spending of $500 million in less than a year by Chelsea could be nothing, and that would spiral out of control. So it would appear to me that what the Premier League has done is they've panicked into hitting the brake. Firstly, to try to show the government they are capable of managing their own house, and secondly, to try to prevent what could be a tsunami of money being spent across a whole different variety of clubs. And they probably have some relatively tangible documentation that came from the hack that were into the Man City communications. So that's, in my view, the picture. I haven't sat here and I haven't said I don't think that the club's done anything wrong. They might have done. But what I'm trying to say is I don't really honestly believe, with all the creative accounting that goes on in football and agents and goodness knows what, that if you look back over, and what we're talking about is 15 years, if there was access through hacking or whatever to all the books at Chelsea or Arsenal, United, I cannot comprehend that it hasn't been happening, certainly over the last 20, 25 years, in many, 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 many different clubs. Now, I'm sure that the baying mob of football fans that we see in lots of will go, oh no, we're all virgins at our club. We are decent, honourable people. We've never done anything even remotely creative with financial accounting in our whole lives. When we got Lukaku up there for £97 million, we counted out the pennies for the transfer, or when we did this or that and the other. Now, if those other fans are baying for City to be smashed on the rocks and the club, then I think they've just got to very simply ask the question, are you positive that your club is any less virtuous than Man City, or were just City more exposed? The last little bit is that, as we saw with the animosity against the Saudis taking over in Newcastle, and this is a really difficult topic to say, I still think there is a level of racism at various owners from different parts of the world. When they're Western owners, it's kind of more satisfactory. Even the Russians were. But when it's those Middle Eastern guys that you immediately assume are oil and dodgy, I think there is a tar them with their own bush. What do I think will happen?
I would say they're
I'm
all
going to be
a
really
bit dodgy.
worried. I'm deeply worried that City will be made scapegoats. And I think the Premier League need to be seen to do something as a message to everybody else. And they'll also, it's a bit like when the referee's there and you get certain clubs that pile in around the referee to try to get a decision overturned with some VAR. And I think what's happening with the other clubs is all those clubs are clambering around the referee, which is the Premier League, and saying, we want a red card to Man City. The fact that they will have also kicked lots of players on the pitch and all their pitches, again, just like those players go up to a referee like they're all virtuous and all decent and they've never made a foul in their life, it feels like that situation. it's a very difficult situation because I think the Premier League is completely out of control financially. And to pick on one club at all this, they're probably going to. And I'm scared. I am really deeply concerned. I think that, just as you've seen from that statement, I think immediately the tribunal says, no, we're going to support the Premier League. Then obviously Pep Guardiola walks, and because he's got his reputation and brand Pep. But alongside him, you've got 5 or 6 key Spanish directors of Man City who run the club, who will go with him. So you've got the complete engine room of the club that would go. Even in the time that it takes the investigation, maybe it's 6 months, 8 months, whatever it might be, I can't see any global superstars, Bellingham or whatever, signing for Man City with all that big question mark. So already, I think there is big trouble for City, even if they're innocent, which I'm not sure they are. But even if they are, I think all those months of investigation will prevent any players wanting to join. The animosity that the fans will get, the players will get.
I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it will carry on as usual until there's been an actual verdict. I don't think you need to be as worried as you are, because I reckon I can tell you exactly what's going to happen. You'll get a big fine. Maybe, I think at worst, you'll get a points deduction. At worst. I think that will be the worst, will be a points deduction. After that, no, I don't think anything else will happen. Just go to some of the comments. So Moss is saying it's creative accounting, but it's at a higher level than as usual. You sign up to obey the rules, and when you don't, you deserve punishment. Fair play. What's the drink? Ollie? Well, of course, it's apple juice.
It's Wraith, isn't it?
It's always apple juice mixed with Wraith. That's why it's got a bit of froth on the top. Tony's saying, let's be fair and honest, stripping of titles wouldn't be fair on real fans like Ian. Don't punish the fans. I get it for them, but if they are guilty of penalties like Juve got, is deserved IMO. But yeah, Chelsea surely will be in trouble in no time. Yeah, and I think Chelsea...
But the only way that Chelsea will be in trouble, or any other club, is if somehow somebody gets loads and loads of documentation from the inside.
And Newcastle, new money staying within themselves still. That's what he's saying. Haven't kind of gone out there. Stripping titles just makes it all look too silly. Out of Europe for a number of years is what I suggested. Maybe. So, right. Go right, Ian. Let's put it to you then, mate. Right. Let's say you get found guilty then. What in your opinion, so I've told you what I think will happen. What is a punishment you think fitting for that crime? Considering all the things you've said about everyone's doing it as well, it's just City maybe just went a bit further. And it's just one of those. Everyone's doing it 6-1 half a dozen the other.
Yeah. I think City were only on the hook because of what happened on the hacking of all those emails.
But that happened before.
If someone got under the skin of Chelsea.
That happened before, though, Ian, you said. The hacking happened
about 7 or 8 years ago, I think.
But all of this stuff has been going on till 2018, though, isn't it?
4 years they've been investigating it, yeah. But Der Spiegel were the first to kick off with all that information they got from the hack.
Okay, so what do you think then the punishment should be then, in your honest opinion?
In my honest opinion, I think that they shouldn't be investigating City. I think that there should be No, seriously, I think there should be an investigation right across all the clubs. I think step one, there needs to be clarification of what exactly is fair play. Because you and I are sat here, Ollie, and we're both... Can you explain to me how on earth Chelsea have been allowed to spend all that money yet again?
Well, you've said it already. They were private clubs. They were private, so they didn't have to show their accounts.
35,000 capacity at Chelsea versus 55 at City, at Arsenal, and yet Chelsea can spend all that many times.
I agree with you. I mean, I think Chelsea ruined the Premier League when they came in and they started buying. They pretty much made it the supermarket where it just went crazy. And a club like Arsenal, who I've been a season ticket for since we've been at the Emirates, which is when that all kind of started. I think they are.
There's another question. Barcelona. We know Barcelona have had all sorts of dodgy finances, unfair the book's completely in disarray. Have they been docked any points or any money?
But Ian, I get what you're saying. And
But they're they're one of the grand old ladies of Europe, like
No.
Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Arsenal, United, Liverpool, etc.
I get Ian. I get what you're saying, and I agree. I do agree with what you're saying, though. But I think we do need to still focus on the fact. I still want to stick with Man City, right?
What are we looking?
What I'm
for?
saying is,
what are you looking for out of a punishment? Why?
No, but what is your opinion, right? So let's say you get found guilty. Okay, there's quite a lot of counts that you've been found guilty on. What is your opinion on what should be the biggest punishment for that?
Okay. Well, okay. My opinion is if City have been found of misdemeanors, the first thing that should happen is there should be a government investigation of every Premier League club.
No, I would. Okay. I just want to know. I don't care about any other. I'm talking about City now.
Ollie, I don't know how to answer it.
Yeah,
I don't know how to answer it.
There must be some kind of bit in you. There must be something that says, okay, right. So that's what I would be thinking if I was an Arsenal fan. I'd be thinking,
what?
Okay,
I'd be taking. What's the least we can get away with? But
yeah, why not? I don't know.
And say, if I answer and say they should be punished, what I'd be basically saying is that City are worse than all the other Premier League clubs who haven't been punished.
I know, but there's going to have to be some.
And they're worse than Chelsea.
Yeah, they are. Well, I don't know. It sounds like they maybe
Barcelona.
Well, you got to get away with it, though, innit?
But they only didn't get away with it because of the hacking of the information from the inside.
But then you should have had better cyber security. Pay the man. Pay the man.
What the comment here really is why Premier League not having a real commissioner and board of governors committees that deal with financial specifically. I totally agree. Premier League has been ruined by bad integrity, hurting the league as wholly global BC cheating. I think you're absolutely on the right track. I think there needs to be transparency across every club in the Premier League. So back to when you say to me, should City be punished? Well, should Barcelona be punished? Should Chelsea be punished?
Okay.
Should every Premier League club that has outspent its revenue be punished?
I'm going to give my opinion on it. This is how I feel.
How can Bournemouth spend all that money when they only get 15,000 fans in the ground?
But I get it. But what you're doing now is you're deflecting. You're deflecting it onto the other clubs, which is fine. But if I was in your situation, which I'm not, thank God.
Yeah, I'm deeply concerned because I
know you're concerned. But then what I would be thinking is, what is the worst case scenario? Okay. Now, I don't think for any minute you're going to get relegated.
The worst case scenario is the Premier League, which has the right to do so, could kick Man City out of their league for some seasons if they wanted to do that.
The worst case scenario is, well, what do you think they're going to do?
What do I think? That's a different question. What do
you think they?
What do I think the Premier League is going to do rather than what punishment do Man City deserve? Because I'm not answering.
What do you think they will do?
I'll answer the former, which is what do I think the Premier League will do? I think the Premier League will want to make a big example of Man City to stop this tsunami of money that is awash in the game and trashing the game. So I think they have to make one big, bold statement, and I think they could do something drastic.
You think they're going to relegate you?
Yeah, I think they could do that.
How would you feel if that happened?
I think that would, I'm sure the Man Uniteds of this world would all say, oh, hurrah, hurrah, great. And the mob would take over and say it's great.
Ian, if this happened to Tottenham, I'm not going to lie, I would.
You wish Tottenham to be removed from the face of the earth because that's
100%. 100%. It would be amazing.
I think if we love football as the beautiful game,
I hate Tottenham.
That's a really sad thing to say.
It's just banter. Okay, so let's go back.
A club of City's size,
you're not going to
go out of the Premier League. The owners may well walk away.
Ian, you're not going to get relegated. I will give you my I don't know.
Go
I'll
on,
give you my cat. I love her so much. If you get relegated, you can
Okay.
have my cat.
Okay.
And that's
The
how
question you asked
sure.
me, what do I think the Premier League will do? And I think they'll go big.
I think the
They'll
worst
go
will be
big.
points deduction. I think that's the worst. I've heard some people say, Arsenal fans say, I don't want a points deduction because
if they also
you know,
said there was a transfer ban for, let's say, 2 years, that would be
I think you take that.
No, because with the quality of the Premier League, if you look at City's aging midfield, the quality of the Premier League, if City had a transfer ban for 2 years, had to play kids, etc., with people like Gundogan out of contract.
Hey, look, you talk about Chelsea.
City would get relegated.
You talk about Chelsea, they got a chance to ban, didn't they?
Yeah, it was only one transfer window, wasn't it?
No, it was two. You talk about Manchester United. Rio Ferdinand got suspended that time. Eric Cantona got suspended. So people have been punished. I mean, I know people do wrong things and they deserve a punishment, but
anyway, to answer your question, I worry that the Premier League will go completely over the top.
I don't think they will. I think they'll go in the middle. I think the worst you'll get is dot points. I think that'll be that. On to then.
I don't think that's a big enough message.
No, it is.
That's not going to stop the river, is it?
The thing is that makes me laugh though is that I mean, obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm really happy that this is happening now because you're not playing very well at the moment anyway. Like when we got beat by Everton, I was like, oh no, like we just got beat by Everton. Like this is terrible. I was thinking City will easily beat Tottenham. You didn't play like you're not playing like the old City. I think you need a season just to get used to playing with Haaland.
I just want a bit of a question, Ollie. When I've rabbited on about the fact that in the summer, City spent minus 91 million, yeah?
Yeah, the balance in the books.
Window, they spent a grand total, I think, of 10. Yeah?
They're balanced in the books.
Well, I wonder whether they say they didn't know this was coming, but I wonder whether they did, because Pep Guardiola has certainly seemed very stressed this season. And that team he picked for Tottenham, honestly, it was like, I cannot comprehend.
What is he doing? Like, why did he?
And you're away at Tottenham. You put Kevin De Bruyne on the bench, Gundogan on the bench, Laporte on the bench, and Diaz on the bench. And instead, you start Rico Lewis, who's just 18, right back, left back. Yeah. And you play against probably one of the better teams on the break. You decide to play two strikers in Alvarez and Haaland. That was the most crazy team selection I've seen in such a long time.
So you think that he knows? Do you think he knows? He's going to have a coughing moment. You okay, Ian? It's got him all worked up. It's got him all worked up about the City.
He's got a bit of a cold. Do I think he knew? I don't know for sure, but I think it's a coincidence that City spent less than anyone else in the Premier League in the summer, and less, I think, than anybody else in the Premier League in January.
Does that quote not scare you, though?
Yeah, I think he'll walk away.
When? No.
I think if the tribunal, the arbitrary panel that's so arbitrary that it's headed by an Arsenal fan, so arbitrary, then I think if they support the Premier League and find City guilty, Guardiola will walk away. Yeah, I do.
Surely he knew, though, some dodgy things were going on. Surely he had some kind of inkling. He's not an idiot.
He has this big honor thing, though, doesn't he?
Ian, they were creating.
Didn't go on. He's taken their word as being a bond.
They were creating fake companies with fake accounts so they could pump extra money into the club.
Allegedly. And
that's what they're saying.
You're going to tell me that certain wages of Chelsea players weren't paid by offshore accounts or even Arsenal players? How do you know all that?
Arsenal,
in every Premier League division club.
Arsenal are the most honest club out there. You know why? Because look at the amount of shit that we've had to go through.
Yeah,
I mean, when Arsene Wenger was in charge, and we
what's-
couldn't.
What's the Russian director at Arsenal called?
Usmanov.
Yeah?
Yeah, we got him out.
Where did his money come from?
Well, yeah, we got him out though.
Yeah, no, but where
And
did
plus,
the money...
when he was there,
This probe is from 2010, I think, to 2017.
Right,
He was
so
there.
look at the players
Where did
we
his money
signed.
come from?
Look at the players we signed in that time.
Well, it's not my fault that you're idiots.
No, we were playing by the financial fair play rules, like we were meant to, and then it just turned out that they didn't mean anything at all, and we should have just did what everyone else did, and it's
Paris
just.
Saint-Germain and Chelsea, Barcelona had already ripped those rules up years ago.
But we didn't. We always abided by them because Arsene Wenger. Because of Arsene
I
Wenger.
can't believe that Arsenal didn't abide by them because they were goody two shoes. I think they were playing it all into one of the most expensive stadiums in Europe.
Nah, we play by the rules. That's one thing we do. We play by the rules. Anyway, look,
you're doing this virtuous bit, and if
we are
football fans, how and what you're I thought you were a cinematographer, not an accountant. I mean,
look, all I know.
What worries me is that many fans will react like you. Of course, we're pure, we're virgin. We have never had any dodgy deals or dirty money in our club. Oh, come on. You had a major shareholder who was an oligarch from Russia. And what? Well, he did it by good, honest, decent living, and there was nothing questionable. Get out of town.
Okay. Well, my last point on it, Ian, is if you're going to do dodgy things, you cover your ass. Make sure you get away with it. And
if you're illegally tapped, if you're illegally hacked.
That was before. Well, you got to get some cyber security on that and back yourself up.
Anyway,
Ian, well, I think you've spoken very well.
Yeah.
And for your sake, I hope it gets resolved in a. I reckon, you know what? I want to beat you anyway, and we're better than you this season anyway. So if we do beat you and you get away with it, then I'll be like, well, we're just beating one of the best teams in the world.
I was on Colin's show last night, and we were picking team of the season. And I voted for Arteta as manager so far this season. I thought you'd like to know that. Because when I saw City Arsenal live recently, and I know City did win 1-0, Arsenal were the best drilled, most disciplined, from up in the stand team I've ever seen. I've never seen a team that was so first to the tackle, so disciplined. Nobody
still lost though.
He was incredible. Honestly, his organisation was second to no team I've ever seen.
Well, he learned it when he was at City winning all those titles. Cole said, I think we need to wait and see all the evidence once it's released and then go from there. Appropriate action. I like that. Yes, very. You have to worry about a lot of the clubs in the Prem, Liverpool, both United and Newcastle, Arsenal, etc., because City have set the standard of how to make deals and other clubs will have to follow suit. I know, what is this? Nice Chalice Cup of goodness. Yes, Chalice Cup of goodness. Well, is there anything else, Ian? I'm sure we're probably talking about it on the next show.
The Arsenal financial virgins.
Ian,
you just
Ian, you do know
of club.
Ian, should we do a preview for the
weekend?
Because I'll be at the game on Wednesday, of course. So should we try and do it Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah. Monday's good.
We could do a little Man City Arsenal special.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay, so we'll be back Tuesday with the Arsenal Man City.
No. Why
Valentine's Day?
I know we're both coming to Tuesday. We're mental.
No, I'm working Tuesday. So maybe we should probably do it after. Let's do it after.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So Thursday, we'll look at Thursday night for our next show. I will. I'll be messaging you. Don't worry. But I am crapping
It'll be
myself.
interesting to see how City play against Villa this weekend with all the stuff that's gone on.
That's it. And so we will be back next week, next Thursday, it's looking like. And I think I might be on the Friday night takeaway on Man United agenda again because I said Arsenal were going to win the league and then we went and lost to Everton. So I'm pretty sure people will got to get on there and give me some abuse. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. check out our sponsors, Wraith Energy Drinks and Global Mapping Surveys. We have been the Mullet Show. I've been Oliver. You have been Ian. God bless and good night. Where'd you get that money from? I want some.
It was
England!